And the Americans can't invade Iran because this is not 1990 or 2003. The United States is not the United States back then. It's been doing forever wars. It's worn down. It's declining fast. Its people don't want war. And powers have risen. Iran, Russia, China, BRICS, and so on.
The war of words between Supreme Leader Khamenei and Trump has been heating up quite a lot. So let's just take a look at some of the back and forth between them, and we'll get your comments. The Iranian nation stands firmly post-war, just as it has done thus far. It will also stand firmly against an imposed peace. The Iranian nation will never accept surrender imposed by anyone. To tell the Iranian people to surrender is not a reasonable statement. Those who understand the wisdom of the Iranian nation, as well as Iran's history and culture, would never utter such words. Surrender to what? The Iranian nation is not one that can be made to surrender. Should the United States intervene in this arena, especially through military involvement, the damage it would sustain would undoubtedly be irreparable.
Say good luck.
What is the end game?
Say it? It's already run out. That's why we're doing what we're doing. Yeah, they had 60 days and a big, 60 days, plenty of time. And they made a mistake. Honestly, they made a mistake. Their country's in ruins. So many people are dead that shouldn't be dead. It's a very sad thing.
Okay, now we've seen this movie before here in America, where they tell us that whoever we happen to have appointed the villain of the week are on their last legs and they just can't stand against us. And yet the Iranian leader is saying you're going to regret it if you get involved in this. What's the truth? The way that it's being presented in the United States is we can very easily overwhelm Iran. They told us that about Iraq. They told us that about Afghanistan. And do you think that China or Russia would come in on the Iranian side if the U.S. does, in fact, strike Iran?
Well, there are two things here. One is, let's just compare these two people. Just, you don't speak Persian. Ayatollah Khamenei is a very eloquent Persian speaker, and he knows 4 languages. He speaks Azeri, he speaks Persian and Arabic, and he's literate in English. He has been reading Time Magazine and Newsweek back then when they were journals, and a bit more worth reading, even though they were that. But he would follow up on Western politics, and he would read these. He also reads novels in English, and so he's a highly educated person. He's read philosophy, and of course, he's a theologian. He's a scholar in Islamic law. Trump, on the other hand, I mean, I wish he could at least speak like the Godfather.
Yeah.
But, at least it was worth watching. An offer he can't refuse. 60 days. I mean, who are you to, give other countries 60 days to do what you want them to do? That's the language of a thug. And the way he talks, I mean, the Godfather is much more eloquent. But Trump, the comparison is clear. I mean, if someone wants to be fair, look how politely he speaks and how, he's threatened to kill the leader.
Right.
And the leader, look how he responds. He says this is irrational or illogical and so on. This is the difference. And then, of course, there's okay, so he's a thug. He violates international law. He terrorizes. But can he do it? We'll see. But Iran has been preparing itself for an American U.S. invasion for a long time. But I could say since the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq, that's been the plan to prepare. So they've been developing missiles and drones and underground bases and taking the nuclear program underground, and anything that's threatened by the Americans and infrastructure, they've taken it underground. So for example, they bombed Iranian radio and television, so they've moved it underground. They've already prepared this because they said that such a day will be it's inevitable. Ultimately, one day the United States is going to attack us.
Right.
So, for Israel, we see that the Iranians are very capable of striking Israel. They're striking them every day and night. And the Israelis, they can't stop them. And the Israelis are not even doing it. It's the Americans who are doing the heavy lifting. And the Americans are using all their bases in the region, in Turkey and Qatar and in the Emirates and Kuwait and Bahrain, all of them to help the Israeli regime offensively and defensively. And then the airspace of Jordan and Iraq is open to the Israelis and the Americans and the British. So everyone's gathered to help the Israelis, but still the missiles are going through. And remember, the Israelis started this, not the Iranians. It was an unprovoked attack. But and in that unprovoked attack, it wasn't sophisticated. Like, Western media was saying, oh, look how the Mossad and Israeli intelligence and the military carried out these precision attacks and killed these commanders. They were at home. Some of them were at home in bed with their families.
Right.
They knocked down an apartment, killing everyone inside, 65 people to kill 1 or 2 people. Over 20 kids were slaughtered. And the Western media was saying how sophisticated this was. Well, everyone in the neighborhood knows who these people are. They're on TV. I mean, I try not to be on Persian television, but I've been on a few times. But because I have more than enough to do at university and then, online for an English audience or audiences. But people in our neighborhood, they know where I live. It's no discovery by Mossad or Israeli intelligence. So if they bomb the apartment building that I live in, kill everyone inside, is that some master stroke? So, Western media, they are a part of this. They are a part of genocide. They have been helping the genocide in Lebanon, the genocidal attacks. They've been helping with the genocide in Gaza, and they justify this illegal onslaught against Iran. But the point is that fighting Israel is more difficult than fighting in the Persian Gulf, because you have to have long-range missiles, you have to have long-range drones. But here all you have to do is fire short-range missiles and short-range drones, and they get there far quicker. So the other side of the Persian Gulf for Iran is easily accessible. They can destroy everything.
Right.
If they can fire 100 missiles, let's say tonight, or 200 missiles tonight, or 300 missiles tonight at Israel, at the Israeli regime, they can fire 3,000 across the Persian Gulf. But what's the difference? All those oil and gas installations and tankers are there. They don't need to shut the Strait of Hormuz. There won't be any oil to get out of the Strait of Hormuz. There won't be any ships or what do you call them? Tankers to take the oil. Yeah. So if the Americans get into a fight with Iran, yes, they can do damage, but they will be devastated. And the Americans can't invade Iran because this is not 1990 or 2003. The United States is not the United States back then. It's been doing forever wars. It's worn down. It's declining fast. Its people don't want war. And powers have risen. Iran, Russia, China, BRICS, and so on. So Iran today is much more powerful than it was before. It doesn't want war. This was unprovoked by the Americans and Israelis. But Iran is stronger today, Russia is stronger today, and the Americans are overstretched. Not only does the United States have huge problems at home, a divided nation, most are opposed to the war, and you see on the right people like Tucker Carlson and others. What's her name?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yes, but no, I meant um, she
Well,
has
if you're
her own
talking
show. She has her own show.
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens. Yeah, it's sorry.
Steve
It's
Bannon. I
very
mean,
late.
yeah. Even people
Bannon,
who
even.
consider themselves nominally pro-Israel. I mean, Candace Owens
Yeah,
doesn't, but
yeah.
Tucker and Bannon certainly do. And yeah, they are against this for reasons that I think many in MAGA are. And yeah, no, I mean it's certainly true that by the numbers, yeah, no, our country does not want this. Of
Yeah,
course
what
not.
was it, like 16% are in favor of it?
16% according to the latest. Yeah, absolutely.
So if
Um,
he attacks and Iran hits back hard, how is he going to continue with 16% behind him?
It's going to
yeah,
tear the country apart,
it's gonna
which, I
tear
mean,
everything
we're
apart.
already kind of torn apart
Yeah,
as it is.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it
It
could
is.
happen anytime now. It could, I mean, I'm expecting it. Some say, this is bluster and but I personally think that it's Iran is assuming that it will happen. That doesn't mean it will 100% happen, but the assumption is the safe way to deal with it is to assume that it's going to happen. And since they've removed their planes from Qatar Air Base and their ships from Bahrain, I guess to protect them, then that is a sign that an assault of sorts is quite possibly very soon.
Okay, well,
Professor Marandi, thank you very, very much for joining us. We know it's the middle of the night. Please stay safe. I know there's some speculation that you're being personally targeted, given that there seem to be attacks in the different stations you go to. Please take care of
Just
yourself.
one thing to clarify. I've been asked, as I said, to give up my cell phone and by security agents who approached me. And I
Yes.
said I can't because of what I do. And they just said okay, but so I've separated myself from my family. I'm alone, and when I go to press TV, the building's empty, so I don't want to get anyone into trouble. However, the press TV building is not in the same it's not far away from, but it's not in the same complex that the IRB building, the number one building, was when it was bombed.
Mm.
But there was the belief that it may be bombed too. So I wasn't targeted when they hit that other building. And B, I have no idea if I am a target or not. People are telling me to delete WhatsApp. I don't have Instagram because they removed me from Instagram and Facebook years ago, so I just quit. I don't have those apps, but they say, but WhatsApp is being used and Instagram is being used to help the Israelis target people. And so, but I can't remove my WhatsApp for now. And also some of these VPNs that are Israeli controlled, they say they're very dangerous. But I think people should delete them. And I think people should just remove Instagram everywhere and WhatsApp in particular. But personally, for me, deleting WhatsApp now is difficult because that's how you I think that's how you communicated with me. I'm not sure. But other people, journalists, friendly people, journalists who are fair-minded, not, well,
Yeah,
actually,
not peers.
yeah, no, well, actually, they also contacted me. They contacted me through WhatsApp. But in any case, if I delete my WhatsApp now, then a lot of people won't be able to communicate with me. But I'm going to do it, and I'll probably use Telegram. I don't know how safe it is, but I mean, I use WeChat and I have Telegram. There are a couple of Iranian apps that I use, but for now on, I'll keep it, even though it may be a risk. But I really think that it's my responsibility to at least give Iran a voice during these days.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's really late and under obviously extraordinary circumstances. So thank you so much for making time for us. And yes, be safe.
It was a great pleasure, Keaton, and you stay safe too. And thank you for all the great work that the two of you and everyone else is doing these days. And let's hope and pray for better days.
Come see us on tour in Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.